Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The tension in the air was so thick that it almost choked Deacon as he stood outside the cliffside cabin. The door had closed behind Amber hours ago, leaving him alone with nothing but the memory of her trembling voice and the way her fingers brushed his when she took the old photograph from his hand. He had come back to redeem himself, or maybe just to remember what it felt like to be loved by someone who once saw the good in him. Inside, Amber sat cross-legged on the wooden floor, the photograph of their long-lost daughter, Hope, clenched in her hands. Though she had tried to move on, the past always had a way of finding her. The cabin was supposed to be her safe place, the one corner of the world untouched by drama, secrets, and pain. But now it echoed with ghosts, and one of them had just knocked on her door. As the fire crackled in the hearth, she whispered, almost to herself, "You should never have come back, Deacon." Outside, Deacon paced like a caged animal. The cool breeze from the ocean did little to calm the storm inside him. He didn't know what he had expected: a tearful embrace, closure, redemption? Amber had been the only person who truly believed in him once. But belief fades, and now, perhaps, it was too late. He raised a hand to knock again, but the door creaked open on its own. Amber stood there, face pale, eyes puffy from crying, but she was no longer trembling. She looked resolute. "You've got 10 minutes, she said, stepping aside. Deacon entered slowly, respectfully. The warmth of the fire did nothing to soothe the growing chill in his chest. The silence between them was loud, filled with everything they didn't say. "I didn't come to reopen old wounds," Deacon began, his voice hoarse. I needed you to know I've changed." Amber let out a bitter laugh. "That's the problem, Deacon. You always say you've changed, but every time, someone gets hurt." He flinched but didn't back down. "I know, and I don't blame you for not trusting me. But when I found that photo of Hope, something in me snapped. I couldn't keep running from what I did. What we did, she should have been here with us." Amber's face crumpled. Don't talk about her like that. You don't get to bring her back into this just because you feel guilty now." "She's always been in it," Deacon whispered. "Every day, every mistake I made, I saw her face." The fire popped, sending a small flurry of sparks into the air. Amber stared into it, remembering how she used to sit there with a cup of cocoa, dreaming of a future that never came. "I was 17, she said softly. "Scared, alone. You were the only one who made me feel like I mattered." "And I ruined that," Deacon said, nodding. "I know I did. I've lived with it. Every bottle I drank, every night I couldn't sleep. Amber, I lost you. I lost our daughter. And for what? To prove I was some kind of tough guy?" Amber turned toward him, her eyes brimming. "You weren't just tough, Deacon. You were cruel. You were reckless. You made me believe that I was nothing without you."
"I was broken,"
"That I didn't," Deacon admitted. "But so were you. And we clung to each other like two sinking ships." For the first time, Amber softened. "We were kids," she said. "Kids playing house in a world that was too harsh. I didn't know how to love myself, so I let you love me in pieces." There it was, the truth neither of them had been brave enough to say until now. "I want to make amends," Deacon said, taking a cautious step forward. "Not for forgiveness, just peace. You deserve it. We both do." Amber looked away, tears slipping down her cheek. There's no peace when your past walks back through the door like a ghost. Silence returned, heavy and filled with grief. Deacon didn't press. He simply sat on the edge of the sofa and waited. He had learned the hard way that real healing came in silence more often than with words. Then Amber surprised him. "I kept her blanket," she said. "The pink one with the tiny hearts. It's in the attic, wrapped in plastic like it could preserve time. Sometimes I go up there and hold it, just to feel like I didn't fail her." "You didn't fail her," Deacon said quickly. "You did the best you could." Amber's lips quivered. "But you weren't there. You don't know what it was like. giving her up. Deacon's eyes closed. I was selfish. I let you carry all the pain while I ran. The rain began to fall softly outside, tapping against the windows like a lullaby for lost souls. Amber rose and walked to the cabinet near the hearth, pulling out an old wooden box. She sat it on the table between them. "What's that?" Deacon asked. "Our past," she replied. "Letters I wrote you but never sent. Photos, doctor bills, even a copy of the adoption papers." Deacon's hands shook as he opened the box. He pulled out a photo of Amber cradling a newborn, her face tired but glowing. His eyes misted over. "She looked like you," Amber said, her voice cracking. "Same eyes, same stubborn chin." Deacon let out a shaky breath. "Is she okay? I mean, have you ever tried to find her?" Amber hesitated. "Once, when she turned 18. I hired a private investigator. She's in Oregon. Her name is Lily now. Adopted by a teacher and a nurse. She's happy." His heart swelled with equal parts joy and sorrow. "You saw her?" "From a distance," Amber nodded. "She was laughing with her friends. I didn't want to ruin her world. I just needed to know she was okay." Deacon buried his face in his hands, overwhelmed. "Thank you for protecting her, for being strong when I wasn't." Amber placed a gentle hand on his. "I hated you for years, but I also hated myself. Blaming you was easier than facing my own regrets." Deacon looked up at her, their eyes locking. In that moment, the years between them melted away, not forgotten, not forgiven, but understood. "I don't expect you to let me stay," he said. "I just needed to tell you that I see it now, what I did, who I was, and I'm sorry, Amber, for everything." A long pause followed, heavy with unsaid emotions. Then Amber whispered, "Maybe healing doesn't mean forgetting. Maybe it just means learning how to live with the scars." Deacon nodded. "I can live with that, as long as I know you're okay." Amber stood and looked toward the window, where the rain had turned to mist. "You should go," she said, "but not forever." His brows lifted slightly. "You mean?" "Maybe one day we can visit her. Together," Amber said. "Not as lovers, not as victims, but as two people who loved someone enough to let her go." Tears slid silently down Deacon's cheeks. He stood unsure whether to hug her or simply say goodbye, but Amber stepped forward and gently wrapped her arms around him. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't dramatic. It was human. As Deacon stepped back into the cold, misty night, he turned for one last look at the cabin, at Amber, and something inside him settled. Not closure, not completely, but maybe the first step toward something better. And inside, Amber lit another log in the fire and whispered into the flickering flames, "She's going to be okay. And maybe so are we."